Hey, hi, hello, and welcome back to the channel. And today on Latakian's Noor Kitchen, we're gonna make chicken kebab or chicken meatballs. That's right, I'm gonna show you how I make what might be the best home barbecue chicken you probably have never had, which I should have already done since this is really incredible stuff. But I always hesitated because one of the main ingredients is a nice charcoal, which I wasn't sure you can get it at home. Then I remembered something very important. I actually teach people how to cook things using techniques. So with that, let's go ahead and get started. And the first thing we need to do here is soak some bamboo skewers in a little bit of water in order for them not to get burnt in the oven. We need to soak them at least half an hour, so make sure to make this step before starting. And then what we do once those are set, we can go ahead and grab our food processor where we need to prep our veggies. So the first thing will be 4 big onions, cut them in small chunks and throw that in there. And to that we need to cut 2 red peppers, in addition to 2 green peppers as well. And then what we do is throw in a pinch of salt, and that's it. Once our vegetables are in there, we're gonna throw the lid on our processor and we're gonna pulse on and off for, I'm gonna say, I don't know, maybe a minute. And what we're trying to do is break up these vegetables into small nice pieces. So lots of short little bosses, just on and off, on and off. Now let me take the lid off and show you what it should look like. And then we go ahead, put in a colander over a stock pot, and then we're gonna throw the veggies in there and let them drain through it. And as you can notice here, or as you can see, that there's a good quantity of water drained. And by the way, don't even think for a second we're gonna be discarding this watery stuff, okay? So we're gonna set it aside to make a sauce with it. And you're gonna see that in a minute. Next is prepping our chicken, which involves 800 grams of boneless, skinless chicken breasts, and cutting them up like, I don't know, 1-inch pieces, 1/2-inch pieces, 3/4-inch pieces. It doesn't really matter since we're gonna grind this up in a food processor anyway. But to make that easier, we do want to cut our chicken up into small pieces like this. And yes, you can definitely do this with chicken thighs also if you're kind of a person who likes fat. But either way, we go ahead and cut that up as shown, and what we do is transfer that into the food processor. Now we will start processing these using the old pull, spool, spin, and we keep doing that until our chicken comes together into a bowl of what looks like ground meat. And once it comes together and boil up like this, we're gonna wanna stop, because we don't want this to become a fine paste, right? We don't want it super chunky, but it still should be kind of coarse. And all what we need to do right now is transferring this into a big bowl. Okay, so according to me, that's exactly what it should look like. And once those are prepped, we go ahead and toss in our vegetables, followed by the rest of the ingredients, which include 2 teaspoons of salt, and then we'll need to mince a bunch of parsley and adding them to that, in addition to 2 tablespoons of flour, which will help bring all of the ingredients together, as well as the zest of 1 lemon, because most of that ingredient's fragrant lemon flavor actually comes from the oil in the zest. So even though a lot of recipes don't call for it, I always like to add it in. Next up, we will toss in 1 teaspoon of black pepper, in addition to 1 teaspoon of chili pepper, followed by 1 teaspoon of coriander and 1 teaspoon of the 7 spices. At which point we'll go ahead, put on our gloves, and give this a very thorough mixing until everything is evenly combined. And then we go ahead, wrap this up and pop it in the fridge for at least 1 hour, up to overnight. So just do that before you go to bed, and then you're pretty much ready to rock at any time the next day. And while waiting for that to happen, because I'm gonna leave it only for 1 hour, we can go ahead and mix up our paste and sauce, which is nothing more than that reserved vegetables water, plus some ketchup, about 2 tablespoons, some hot pepper sauce, nearly 2 tablespoons too, 2 tablespoons of lemon juice, in addition to a big splash of pomegranate molasses. And while this is optional, but you can go ahead and add 1 teaspoon of honey, a pinch of black pepper, and then last but not least, one final ingredient, 2 cloves of garlic. And that's it. We take a spoon and give this a mix, and once that's mixed up, we'll simply set it aside. And while we still have time for our meat to be ready, let's go ahead and prep what is called تومية in Arabic, which is nothing more than 1 tablespoon of yogurt, in addition to 2 tablespoons of mayonnaise, followed by 2 cloves of garlic, a pinch of salt, and then we're gonna shock the world by adding 3 tablespoons of pepper pickles water. Yes, that's right. Now let's go ahead, take a whisk, and give this a mix. And thus you can have the fastest, most delicious تومية ever. Try it, you'll see. And then once our meat is well chilled, we go ahead and pull it out, and we'll take a little bit of the mixture and we will roll it into a bowl using, of course, wet hands, since as you all know, we need to make them smooth. And once we do have a portion rolled into a smooth bowl, we will pierce that right in the middle with our soaked wooden skewer, and then we will simply squeeze that meat into a uniform log about 6 inches long or so and about 2 inches wide, getting it as uniform as possible so that it will cook evenly. And for being completely honest, the skewer in this recipe is more of a decoration. But if we want to call it a kebab, and we do, we gotta stab it with something, okay? So once those are formed, we can go ahead and brush them with the basting sauce we prepared together. And then we're gonna put them in a preheated oven for nearly about 20 minutes, and that oven set to the highest degree you have. So leave them, like I've said, for 20 minutes or until they get golden brown. At that point we can prep our platter, so I like to put some pita bread on a serving dish, brush them generously now with the basting sauce, to which we go ahead and add our washed arugula, spread them evenly, as well as 1 onion slices, last but not least a pinch of sumac. Now our kebab is very well browned, so we're gonna pull it out of the oven. This looks absolutely gorgeous. Now all you need to do is transfer these onto our bread. I mean, why have those amazing juices dripping on the platter when they could be soaking into something we can eat, surrounded with a very delicious appropriate garnishes? And that chicken kebab platter is done now. And while I do this kind of dishes, I feel a need to fry potatoes next to that. And I don't know why, but they go together very well. Maybe you do the same too if you have children. Of course, children always love to eat French fries. Whatever you cook, they only go to French fries. But anyway, at that point there is nothing to do except eating. And man, this is a succulent. Forget the amazing flavor from all the spices. There is something about a vegetable-based marinade that just makes the best grilled meat. It just comes out so moist and tender. And if you want, you can eat this in a big chunks. But what I like to do is kind of making a wrap. So grab one bread with all of the toppings and topping it with some chicken kebab. And then we go ahead and put some potato. And then I think the best way to finish this is a spoon or two of our mayonnaise or تومية. Go ahead, roll that up, and that, my friend, is something you definitely want to eat. Just such an incredibly delicious bite of food. And a swipe of mayonnaise on top sometimes makes things perfect. This really did come out fantastic. For a technique that's so simple, and it really does produce beautiful, delicious grilled chicken. So anyway, I showed you how to make it. I'm sure you'll figure out how to eat it. But no matter how you decide to serve yours, I really do hope you give this a try soon. Thanks for watching, and if you liked my video, please make sure to subscribe, like, follow and share, so it can help me get more people to reach Latakian's Noor Kitchen. See you later!